Today's episode of Variant is brought to you by Domain.com.
Today on Variant, I give you the history of Black Panther. Welcome to Variant, where we love comics more than Black Panther was awesome in Captain America Civil War. I'm your host, Arris. Before we get into today's episode, I just wanted to remind you all about the massive spring sale on our Triune store. If you've never checked out our store before, we have shirts, including our Variant t-shirt, digital downloads, filmmaker assets, and a bunch of other goodies. We've also been doing some extra flash sales and cool giveaways. So remember, be sure to check out our Triune store today through May 8th to get some discount lovin'. I've added the link in the description. As for today's episode, since we're in the midst of Marvel Month, and Black Panther is one of the coolest parts about Captain America Civil War, it only made sense to give you guys the history of Black Panther. Black Panther was created by two comic book legends, writer-editor Stan Lee and penciler and co-plotter Jack Kirby. He first appeared in Fantastic Four issue 52 in July of 1966. Black Panther was the first black superhero in mainstream American comic books, debuting several years before other black superheroes such as Falcon, Luke Cage, Black Lightning, and Green Lantern John Stewart. Virtually no black superheroes were created before him, and none with actual superpowers. So needless to say, he helped pave the way for black superheroes in mainstream comic books, which is pretty freaking awesome if you ask me. As for the character's name, which of course is Black Panther, co-creator Stan Lee stated that the name was inspired by a pulp adventure hero who had a Black Panther as a helper, which debunks the theory that the name referenced the political Black Panther Party of the 1960s. But because of that theory, the character was briefly renamed the Black Leopard, which Lee said was reverted because neither the readers nor the creators cared for that name. And I have to say I agree, Black Panther sounds so much cooler. Following his debut in Fantastic Four issues 52 and 53 and the subsequent guest appearance in Fantastic Four Annual 5, the Black Panther journeyed from the fictional African nation of Wakanda to New York City. Now, why would Black Panther travel all the way to New York, you ask? Well, to join the Avengers, of course, which happened in issue 52 in May of 1968. He appeared in that comic for the next several years. The Black Panther would finally get his own series in 1977, which was edited, written, and drawn by one of the character's co-creators, Jack the King Kirby. However, Kirby wanted to work on new characters and was unhappy being assigned to a series starring a character that he already worked on extensively, so he left the series after only doing 12 issues. But now let's get into Black Panther's comic book origin. The Black Panther is the ceremonial title given to the chief of the Panther tribe of the advanced nation, Wakanda. In addition to ruling the country, he is also the chief of its various tribes. The Panther is a symbol of office, which is head of the state. It's a hereditary title, but it still must be earned. Long ago, a huge meteorite made of a rare mineral known as vibranium crash-landed in Wakanda. Besides vibranium being part of Black Panther and Wakanda's mythos, it's also popularly known for being what Captain America's shield is made of. Anyway, the first king of Wakanda harnessed the mineral and used it to nurture his nation. Thousands of years later, under the ruling of Black Panther T'Chaka, Wakanda's level of technological and economical achievements continued to excel far beyond those of the normal world. T'Chaka concealed Wakanda from the rest of the world to prevent it from being manipulated by outsiders. His first wife died while in labor with Prince T'Challa. Years later, a Dutch scientist named Ulysses Claw found his way into Wakanda. He created a vibranium sound-based weapon and used it to kill King T'Chaka. Prince T'Challa, only a child at the time, managed to turn the sound weapon on Claw, destroying his right hand. Claw then fled the country but exposed Wakanda to the outside world and vowed revenge. Prince T'Challa was next in line to become the king of Wakanda and Black Panther, but until he was ready to become leader of the nation, his uncle Saiyan, T'Chaka's younger brother, successfully passed the trials to become the new Black Panther. After years of training and studying at the best schools in Europe and the US, T'Challa returned home and earned the title and attributes of the Black Panther by defeating the champions of the Wakandan tribes, which made him king. Now, I couldn't talk about the Black Panther and not at least mention how T'Challa would eventually marry Storm from the X-Men. That's right, Storm would become his queen. After teaming up with the X-Men a few times, T'Challa and Storm began dating. After T'Challa helped her reunite with her surviving family members, he proposed to her. She agreed and the two were married in a grand Wakandan ceremony. For their honeymoon, the two embarked on a diplomatic world tour. Now, that's not my idea of a good honeymoon because I'm not sure how much a diplomatic tour would put you in the mood, but you know, whatever works. They soon found that the US was in the midst of a civil war. While visiting the White House, the authorities attempted to force Storm to sign the Superhuman Registration Act. This resulted in the royal couple choosing to side with Captain America and the Secret Avengers in the Civil War storyline. Which is kind of funny because in Captain America Civil War, Black Panther is Team Iron Man. Well, kinda. You have to watch the movie to see what I mean. But now let's talk about Black Panther's powers and abilities. Upon becoming chief of the Panther clan and king of Wakanda, T'Challa was entitled to eat the ceremonial Wakandan heart-shaped herb, which provides T'Challa with enhanced strength, endurance, and reflexes. The herb can only be digested by Wakandan royalty and acts as a poison to those not of the royal bloodline. The heart-shaped herb also heightened T'Challa's senses to superhuman levels. Later blessings from the Panther goddess elevated his enhanced abilities. He also has Black Panther knowledge. What this means is he now has the power to draw all the knowledge, strength, and every experience from every previous Black Panther. His superhuman senses enables him to see within complete darkness and hear sounds that ordinary humans cannot. T'Challa has memorized thousands of scents and is proficient in tracking them. His sense of smell is powerful enough to allow him to smell fear and detect if someone is lying by sensing a change in their body odor, which is cool but incredibly disgusting. He has amazing agility and his strength allows him to lift upwards of 800 pounds. He's also strong enough to wrestle down a rhino and can stop an elephant in full charge. T'Challa also has superhuman stamina, durability, speed, and a healing factor. It's not on par with that of Wolverine or Deadpool's healing factor, but it's a healing factor nonetheless. And going through some of his abilities a little bit quicker because he has a crap ton of them, he has a genius level intellect, he's a master combatant, a weapons master, master acrobat, expert marksman, master tactician, and an expert tracker and hunter. But I'm not done, guys. He's got more. He's also multilingual, a master inventor, and he has diplomatic immunity on top of having highly influential connections. And last but certainly not least, he's rich. Like extremely rich. As for weapons and equipment, he has vibranium mesh. The microweave robs incoming objects of their momentum. Bullets do not ricochet off, but simply fall to the ground when they come in contact with the mesh, which is why bullets have no effect on him in the Civil War trailer. He also has vibranium claws, which if you've read his comics or seen Civil War, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But then he also has energy daggers, energy shields, cloaking technology, and a teleporter, which is Wakandan tech seemingly built into T'Challa's gauntlets that allows him to instantly transport small distances. He has way more powers, weapons, and abilities, but you guys get the point. He's freaking awesome. But now it's time for some Black Panther reading recommendations. You have Fantastic Four issues 52 and 53, Death Calls for the Arch of Heroes and Avengers 52, Who is Black Panther, and Black Panther Volume 1, The Client. When you buy a domain name from domain.com, you get the power to influence and control what people find when they search for you online. No domain extension will help you tell your story like a .com or .net domain name. Domain.com is affordable, reliable, and easy to use. The guys at Domain.com gave Variant an awesome offer. Get 15% off Domain.com's already affordable domain names and web hosting when you use the coupon code Variant at checkout. So when you think domain names, think Domain.com. First up for Wednesday, May 4th, we have The Punisher issue 1. A by-the-numbers drug bust is about to take Frank Castle by surprise, and he hates surprises. Here we have Gwenpool issue 0. Who is Gwenpool and where did she come from? We're about to find out in this issue. And finally, we have Moon Knight issue 2. The first issue of this series was fantastic, so I highly recommend people reading this if you like Moon Knight. And that brings another episode of Variant to a close. But remember, you can always like our Variant Facebook page to keep up with the show and all things comic related. You can also follow Variant on Twitter at Variant Comics or me on Twitter at Arris_Quinones. But I'll see you guys next week when I talk about all things comics. However, Kirby wanted to work on new characters, and which I'm happy. The Black Panther is the ceremonial Wakandian heart-shaped herb.